Hi, in this video I'd like to discuss a specific problem in chromosomal abnormalities that we've seen a surge in recently and we'd like to discuss. So today I'd like to share a little bit about trisomy chromosomal abnormality. So trisomy is a form of aneuploidy, which means the cells have more than one set of chromosomes. So trisomy means there's an extra one, which means three sets of three chromosomes in this chromosomal abnormality, and it will most likely lead into some form of defect and affect your development of the fetus during pregnancy. Now this may not necessarily mean that your pregnancy is doomed, because there is a very common trisomy chromosomal abnormality condition that we see in society, which is Down syndrome. Down syndrome is simply the trisomy of the 21st chromosome in the human cell. So the prevalence of this case is in 1 in 1,000 pregnancies will lead to a Down syndrome. Another one that we see also, not as common as Down syndrome, but the second most common is Edwards syndrome, which is the trisomy of chromosome 18. And then another one that is the most deadliest one that we've seen so far is the trisomy of chromosome 13, with 1 in 10,000 cases, and then the survival rates are negligible, which means there are no surviving pregnancies of this trisomy chromosomal abnormality. So you may ask the question, why does trisomy 21 survive, but why does trisomy 13 or certain other trisomies don't survive? Why do they end in a spontaneous miscarriage during the early days of pregnancy? So to explain that, this is because of the length or the size of the chromosome. So chromosome 21 in Down syndrome, chromosome 21 is the smallest chromosome in the human cell. So when there is a trisomy in this one, it's considered negligible, because the amounts of genes that it's produced is still being compensated, which means these babies who are born in this condition, they also have average human lifespan, which means they live up to 80 years old and 90 years old, and then they have only deficiencies in intellectual capabilities, and then physically they are quite healthy as well. But as to why certain trisomies don't survive is because the genes are too massive. They are responsible for several protein translations and transcriptions, which is affecting the development of the fetus during pregnancy. So it will usually terminate itself in a spontaneous abortion. So it usually depends on the size of the chromosome that is in the trisomy. So as you can understand from what I've said, trisomy is not a completely lethal condition. It may be lethal depending on which chromosome, and then if it's like chromosome 21, then it's a non-lethal, which means they can survive. So it'll really depend on the severity of the trisomy and also which chromosome. So we don't really have a treatment for trisomy chromosomal abnormality, especially those of lethal natures. Even with Down syndrome, you are unable to reproduce an offspring. So as of 2021, there is still no known genetic treatment for these types of condition, but I'm sure in the future we will have a solution to this problem. As for other types of chromosomal abnormalities, the most conclusive answer is that there is a change in the environment of the pregnant mother and also the fetus. So which means the mother's environment, the water that she's drinking, the food, the radiation she's exposed, all of these can affect the chromosome development of the baby. If the baby's housing, which is the womb, has some defects, some abnormalities, estrogen is not being produced, progesterone is not being produced, this can also lead to a chromosomal abnormalities. And these types of chromosomal abnormalities can be treated by just identifying the root cause and then fixing them. To find out more information about chromosomal abnormalities, please visit our website. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below.